but you're wired somehow. Like you have a certain way of existing that is absolutely natural and skillful for you. It's you're talented in that way. It's how your heart expresses itself. It's how you get inside of love, and how love expresses itself uniquely through you.
If you have a mind, you have a mission.
If you have a mind,
You have a mission.
If you have a mind,
You have a mission.
Welcome to the event. We're really happy that you're here. We're about to go live in just a few moments. But before we lift off, there's a few important things we want to make sure that you're aware of so you get the best possible experience out of this. First of all, the sound current is supremely important to us, the musical experience. So if possible, we really encourage you to use good speakers or headphones to experience the class with. Second, if you have any pre-existing injuries, please take care of yourself. Modify as you need to. Don't risk exacerbating an injury because of a yoga exercise. If you have any pre-existing medical conditions and you're not quite sure if this would be good for you, please consult with your primary healthcare practitioner and make sure it's the right thing for you. Also, make yourself relatively comfortable. You can use a cushion, and in fact, we encourage you in our seated positions, meditation practices, to use a cushion. It helps lift the heart up, keep the spine straight, and it's more ideal for the flow of energy in the body and for the meditation experience. You can even be sitting in a chair with feet flat on the floor for those of you that are unable to sit in a meditative sitting posture on the floor. Just use a chair, and for many of the exercises, that will work perfectly fine. And then lastly, if you're having any problems with the video streaming, try refreshing the page, or if you see a gear icon on the video, adjust your resolution. If you're new to this type of thing, just take care of yourself. If there's something that you don't quite understand, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Everything that needs to click will click after a few times of trying it out. Enjoy the experience. We're about to get started in just a moment. I think one of the advantages of doing a class is the very idea of it, whether you're taking a class or teaching a class. Actually, can you take my, hold on, I got control of this, sorry. All right, there we go, cool. Just getting the volume in my ears proper. I think when doing these virtual classes, even I like having in-ears because I somehow I feel even more connected to everyone at home because I'm experiencing it, I think, in a little bit more similar way to how you may be experiencing it. You know, I know this tendency to feel while we're in quarantine especially, And while there's just general restriction on the ability to see others, we may feel like, because we would rather perhaps be together in person, that the experience of being together in this way being subpar to that. When I think in actuality, that's not the case. It's just a different way of being together, and it's not lesser than being together in person. In fact, there's advantages and disadvantages to both of those if we're looking at it from a relative and absolute perspective. So, and I think it's useful to look at it, things in general, as both a relative and absolute perspective, because it helps our mind to rest more easily in its natural neutrality. That's why we remember what Pantrul Rinpoche says: don't ruminate about the past. Don't anticipate the future. Allow mind to be just as is. Don't cogitate. Don't mess with the present. Whatever the mind is currently expressing at this moment, allow it to express. So he's saying, don't cogitate with the present. Don't tamper with it. Allow mind to be just as is. He doesn't say, don't mess with the present if things are positive. He just says simply, don't mess with the present. Don't cogitate with the present. So that's also, don't cogitate with the present if things are very difficult and I find myself suffering. It's allowing things to be as is, because why? Through that, we've developed a deeper trust of life and the intelligence of life itself, the goodness of life itself. We're starting to experience reality as a tremendous transcendent love. And that's what some people refer to as God, and some people refer to as Allah, and some people refer to it as Brahma, and some people refer to it as Wahi Guru or Ik Onkar. And countless are the ways in which people refer to it. But most importantly is that our relationship to that, in whatever kind of form and semantic and mood that you naturally relate to that infinity. Because that's what we always should follow. Not what someone else is doing or a way that someone else relates to something, but how do I naturally relate to things? How do you naturally relate to? Is it in the feminine form? Is it in a masculine form? Is it not in a genderized form at all? How is it? And we may deeply resonate with certain paths because of the natural way in which each of us relate to the expression of infinity, the expression of love, intelligence, truth, reality. So, in that sense, all the paths are majestic in nature, if we're truly following the path. So anyhow, when we sit down to take a class, it gives us this kind of formalized moment in time that, may even make our calendars, and where there's a time that is blocked off, to where I'm going to simply sit and pay attention to the mind, to the body, and to the breath, particularly within the context of a yoga practice. Now, in this type of yoga practice that we do in these sessions, we tend to do exercises. We need, in my opinion, I need exercises. Living particularly the type of lifestyle that I live. I'm entrepreneur. I have a business, have a family. I'm surrounded by devices, which I'm grateful for. They help me tremendously, but that comes at a price. So therefore, as a way of kind of filling back up my vitality bank, I make sure I keep my body very much involved and put it on a schedule so that it doesn't miss the priority list. Because anything that really has priority in our lives tends to be, there's some sort of either schedule or routine around it. Our families are important, so we know in the evenings we gather together, we share a meal, we make sure, as best as we can. Our work is important, we have a schedule. And so, if taking care of the vehicle is really important, it will have a routine in your life, a schedule. I think so. Anything that's going to be consistent for the long term. And what that schedule is different for different people. For some people, it's, a couple times a week. For some people, it's every day for about 15 minutes and then, maybe 1 or 2 classes. There's no right way to do it. It's more of, again, this is what I believe Joseph Campbell was getting at when he said, follow your bliss. It's not follow your pleasure. It's allowing the winds of Dharma to guide your natural intelligence. It's trusting the goodness of life and trusting your own sensibility and your ability to navigate through life. We get good guidance from teachers, from our elders, and also from the youth sometimes. We use the mind as like a tuning fork, tuning into our best sense of what we believe is real and good, knowing, though, that we are perceiving within relative reality, with a desire to perceive absolute reality. It's one of the 3 desires that all creatures have, according to the yogis. The desire to live forever, immortality, to know that our consciousness will not be terminated. Number 2 is the desire to know absolute truth, absolute reality. And number 3, and of course these are just words, and it's just one way of saying something. Number 3 is the desire to experience supreme, a love supreme. That's what John Coltrane was tapping into. It's not just loosely called a love supreme. It's tapping into the reality of life through that particular artistic path. And it's not just artistic expression. When you're talking individual the likes of John Coltrane, you're talking about one who has taken a path of consciousness and love and using the artistic craft and science as a vehicle on the path. So, we want to know absolute reality, but because we're wise human beings, we recognize that we're perceiving currently through relative reality. I know my perception is limited because I'm not yet a fully realized being. A lot of people don't like, a lot of teachers and yogis, and they don't like to talk about that sometimes because perhaps we don't want to admit it to ourselves. But I think it's amongst the most crucial points to mention and to be aware of. It doesn't make you feel poorly or lesser than. It gives you great hope and great love and great joy and great admiration for those like a Nanak or a Buddha or a Christ or the countless beings that we may not even know about. There's countless beings, as Nanak says. Countless are the ones who are elevated in this way, but also countless are the ones who are suffering, the fool nature of consciousness. He says, the Sankamurik, countless are the fools. It's beyond the rationale, beyond our ability to comprehend it. But then sometimes we can taste the sweetness of reality. And it infuses its fragrance and its nectar into our being and into our sense of what we are, into what life is, and into what reality is. And we fall deeper in love. And our capacity to experience compassion grows and strengthens and expands with less boundary. This is the glory of the yogis. And so while we're doing exercise in this, to have a session, if we were to just sit down and listen to the flow of the breath, that is yoga. If we were to sit down and simply chant a single mantra, that is yoga. If we were to sit down and not just casually read, but to read with a purpose, perhaps to be able to somehow tune our vehicle to a greater reality, tune our psyche, using some text that has the capacity to do that at some level. Could be that, could also be like that. Doesn't have to be a scripture necessarily. That also is yoga, Gyan yoga, sharpening the psyche, but also tuning the vehicle. So anytime we're concentrating our life force in a singular direction for a specific period of time is a type of sadhana, a type of practice. And often, my observation is that there's often too much emphasis on the type of sadhana a person is doing, and not as much emphasis on the fact that they are in love with the sadhana that they're doing, whatever the sadhana is, which could be the most simplest thing in the world. And so that's what I would encourage us all, is to, when traveling the path of a Kundalini yoga practice, is to keep it simple. If you love the Ek Onkar sadhana, you could do that the rest of your life if you wanted to, and it would be plenty. This practice and science and art does not work via its diversity of options. It's like any other sadhana of life. It works based on genuine love, clarity of focus and what it is that I'm working towards, and noticeable progress along the way. And from there, you may be guided to explore all sorts of different sadhanas, not because you should or you need to, because you want to, because you're finding fascination or you're finding benefit in how it's helping and uplifting my life by going in this direction and staying there a little while, exploring there, and then working on this facet of the psyche by using this tool over here. And that's part of the longer journey of understanding and learning Kundalini yoga. You can learn some by someone saying, yeah, it works like this and it works like this. But the only real way to learn is by, over time, experiencing it for yourself. And metabolizing it through your own personal understanding. Not my understanding or somebody else's understanding. While some of that may nurture and help your understanding, it's insufficient until it's genuinely and personally metabolized by the individual. And that your metabolization and your understanding and your experience of this work is as valid as anyone else's. It may not be as extensive, but it's as valid. And so to feel and understand and experience what a particular sadhana is doing for me in my life is what gives me conviction in it. Not because I trust, the legends and all the teachings just as they are, but I do much of it, not all of it. But that's based on experimentation that then turns in over time to conviction. And so that's the beauty of the path, is it just gets better and better and better. But not like this. It's more like, and up, and then dips down. It's not an easy thing, life. It's not that like, this path is any harder than any or easier than any other path. Our lives' path are our lives' path. And therefore, what's Robert Nesta Marley? Everyone thinks that their burden is the heaviest. The weight of grief, of sadness, of difficulty, and the glory of love and patience and devotion and joy and sweetness, all of those are mixed into all of our lives. And so therefore we can feel compassion no matter who that is, because everyone's life is as important as every other one's life. All right, let's tune in. Gurudev Namo Om Namo Gurudev Namo Om Gurudev Namo. Angude Name, Jugadgude Name, Satgude Name, Siddhi Gurudevi Name, Adgude Name, Jugadgude Name, Satgude Name, Siddhi Gurudevi Name, Adgude Name, Jugadgude Name, Satgude Name, Siddhi Gurudevi Name. Okay, let's begin moving the body and coming into cat-cow posture on the hands and the knees. And you're going to be inhaling, the head is coming up, and exhaling, the head is coming down. Nice smooth rhythm. Go at any pace that feels appropriate for you. Wow. Keep going. Eyes are closed down. Mind is on your breathing. Pay attention to the flow of the breath with a sense of awareness of the breath as a living intelligence. That it is the current of life itself. That's why Nanak said, Pavan Guru. Breath as the teacher. "35 seconds. And inhale, head is up. And exhale, head is down. And relax, forehead to the floor, butt back to the heels. Relax the mind, relax your jaw and the tongue. Relax your motor, your ongoing intent. Not ruminating about the past, nor anticipating the future. Not interfering with the present. Allowing everything to be just as is. And come sitting up on the heels. And be inhaling, lifting through the chest, exhaling back like and it can be a nice and slow rhythm, like a sut, na, sut, na, sut. Or it can be more moderate to quicker pace. Just tuning into your mind, body, and move from there. It may start out slower and then pick up. Inhale deep. Suspend the breath. Meditate into the third eye. Lift up through the root lock. And then exhale. And come back to easy pose. And hands are up like this. Chest is open. Inhale left, exhale right. Continuing the sadhana of bringing full awareness to what it is that you're doing, using the breath rhythm as your anchor point. The sound of the breath. And the meditative optic nerve gazing into the third eye. Maintaining a gentle mulband, root lock, throughout the exercise. To do all of that, which will help to stabilize the prana as it's being activated, takes your full attention. To even wholeheartedly attempt it. And inhale. Suspend the breath. Root lock is lifted. Heart is wide open. Gaze is meditative. And exhale. And hands to your knees. And over time we learn how to shift gears, allowing things just to be as they are, shifting into concentrating on a single point of focus. And as distractions come, not pushing them away. Okay, noticing them. It's a part of it is being cool just exactly as you are. And that's part of concentrating in a meditative fashion. So if something comes, like a dark cloud, it's not perceived as something anything more substantive than it actually is, which is ultimately non-substantive. So then back to the point of focus. Notice, back to the point of focus. Notice, back to the point of focus. Whereas at first, you may go down, a far little journey over there before notice happens, then back to the point of focus. The whole exercise may be done, the whole kriya has expired, then we notice, back to the point of focus. Inhale deep. Sometimes in a kriya, in a meditative experience, you might go on some interesting daydream, kind of trancy, almost like you're sleeping, but you're not. Cool. Notice. And sometimes you might actually stay in it a little bit. That's no big deal. The most important point is to actually notice. Notice without grasping or pushing away. This takes time and cultivation of more sensitivity, and that only happens through paying attention, understanding, then experimenting. Learning, then experimenting. Learning, then experimenting. Tuning, then experimenting. Tuning, then experimenting. All of it is like a not like learning some skill as much as learning how to communicate to another reality, learning a language that is more subtle than words itself. Hands on your knees. And then or listen to the breathing, that's all. Relax the gaze into the third eye. Appreciating the very fact that I'm breathing. Inhale, squeeze up. And exhale, release. Fantastic. Stretch the legs out wide. Flex the feet. Inhale, center. Turn to where your navel's over the left thigh, and then fold. And then inhale up and turn the navel in the other direction and fold from the hips. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Lead with the navel, then the heart. Feeling a sense of loving compassion towards your body. Inhale. And then fold down. And breathe long and deep. Flex the feet, relax the groin. Resist the urge to come all the way down unless you can easily do that. Just go to the point of resistance. And then breathe very deeply, encouraging your body to naturally relax. Not forcing it to do something it doesn't want to do. Let the body relax. Long, deep breath. Bring your gaze into the third eye, where the root of your nose meets your skull bone. And move the breath, listening to its sound, while you relax your concentration into the point of the Ajna Chakra. Allowing the sound of the mantra to just resound and resound. Encouraging the goodness of reality. The sweetness of love itself. And the flow of compassion from one being to another. Experiencing the very sound of the breath and the very sound of the mantra as the flow of compassion itself. Shake the legs out, exhale. And come onto the backs. In stretch pose, Charlotte can demonstrate. Legs are up, and the head is up, and the arms by the side palms facing the body, and the inhale comes in, and it goes up. Moving the navel really beautifully and with the rhythm. Every exhale, the navel comes in. Good, thank you. And if it strains your low back, you can just put your hands in fists, palm side down, under the butt, and then you come into the posture in that way, lifting through the chest, engaging through the lower root lock, so lifting through the pelvic floor, lifting through your chest, extending out through the toes, and relaxing the mind, and like that. Oh, good. So first take a deep inhale. Fully exhale. And inhale deep. Exhale complete. Come into the posture. Powerful breathing. Seconds. Hold the posture, inhale deep. Hold the navel in, lift through the rectum, sex organ. And draw the navel deep, deep navel, and relax. The navel is not the belly button, though, in the yogic context. So the abdomen that is just underneath the belly button is the part of the body that activates the navel when using the practice of the locks. So just underneath the belly button. It takes some time and work to develop, and particularly work on the digestive system. Just the practice of developing the navel will work on the digestive system, but it's helpful to simultaneously work on the digestive system using food, using herbs, that's the science. Well, there's so many ways to do it, but particularly the science of Ayurveda, especially when we're talking yogic medicine. Okay, and hug the knees to the chest, rock a couple of times, and then come where you're going to be lying on the front side. And then you're going to come back and grab the tops of your feet or your ankles, preparing for the bow pose. First take it, and Charlotte demonstrates. She's doing the up and down rocking bow. In this case, which the rocking bow is phenomenal. In this case, it's not a rocking bow, it's a steady bow. And you just do the best you can. Modify as you need to. So first come down, and bring the forehead down while you're just holding the tops of the feet, or bringing the feet up if you can't reach them fully. And then taking a deep inhale in, and fully exhale. And inhale into the posture, strengthening through the legs to help lift you. Breath of fire. Ruminate on the past. Don't anticipate the future. The breath. Inhale. Come into the present. Suspend the breath. Meditative mind. And slowly relax down. Push back into an extended child's pose. Good, and come onto your backs. And this will be either a wheel pose or a bridge pose. For most of us, a bridge pose. If it were me and Charlotte side by side, I'd be the one doing the bridge pose. She'd be the one doing the wheel pose. So wheel pose is the full back bend. And then the bridge pose, can you demonstrate as well? And like that. Do the one that is working best for you right now. Bring your feet to the floor. Press your feet into the earth and lift the pelvis off the floor to make the bridge pose. Inhale. And those of you that move to wheel pose, sure thing. With the navel. Suspend. Slowly relax. Relax all the way down into the earth. Fish pose. So legs are strong. You're gonna lift up through the chest. And like that, her forearms are on the floor. She's pressing down. First, can you come back up to like a preliminary stage of getting into it? So she's gonna make her core strong and come back on, and her legs are engaged. Her feet are flexed, you notice. Probably if she was at home, she'd have toe splitters in there. Is that true? Simrit wears toe splitters around the house. And what are you doing? Then I saw one of my other friends wearing toe splitters. I still haven't jumped on that train. One day, though, you might see me walking around with them. All right, so legs are engaged and the toes are split. But it's good. This is attention to detail that causes prana to flow. I'm being silly, but it's also real. And press the palms to the floor. And you feel the earth through all the parts of the body that are touching the earth. And then you lift through the chest with that earth foundation. And then only then does the head come back some. For some people, the perfection of the posture is the head's touching the ground. But our goal is not perfection of the posture. Our goal is perfection of love. So be gentle with yourself. Inhale. See, just like that. You don't even have to have the head back at all. The navel to the heart center is where the heart of this Kriya really is. Moving a prana from the lower triangle into the center of the chest. Inhale, please. Suspend. Lift through the root lock. Lift through the chest. Good. Exhale. Good. And slowly relax all the way down. See how she lifts up before relaxing all the way down? I think in general we should even just start teaching that posture with the head up, because it's really, the risk reward for most of us is not worth even trying it. So we're getting insights as we go. We're learning in 2020 how to teach, Kriya practices, and nobody knows that because it's only happening now. So relax all the way down. Deeply relax. See if you can allow your electromagnetic field to just simply be merged into the energy of the earth's magnetic field. Nurtured, grounding, neutralized. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Move the fingers and toes. Rotate the wrists and ankles. Rub the palms, make some heat, rub the soles of your feet. And then cat stretch to each side. And then hug the knees and rock and roll a few times. And take your index finger to your thumb. And for just a couple minutes, the chest is up, the tongue is coming out, and you'll be panting like a. Stimulating the immune intelligence, immune vitality. Meditative eyes into the third eye. Keep going, almost there. And inhale through the nose. And lift up through the root lock. And press the under tongue roof of your mouth. And through the nose, exhale. And then 2 more times, inhale. Suspend the breath, lift up through the root lock, under tongue roof of the mouth. And exhale. And inhale deep. Root lock lifted. Under tongue roof of the mouth. Exhale. Beautiful. Your hands will be in this wisdom mudra, Jnana mudra. That's the Jupiter to the thumb. Other 3 fingers are engaged enough so they have a firmness. so you can feel the mudra. Chest lifted, lifting through the pelvic floor. Release the shoulder blades down. Chin is slightly in. You're going to be vibrating this mantra. Hara, Hara, Wa-he-guru. Hara, Hara, navel comes in. Hara. Hara, Hara, navel comes in. Hara. Hara. In every repetition, tongue touches your upper palate. Wa-he-guru. It's a vibration, vibrational sounds. It's not singing, it's vibrating, chanting, using your tongue, using your lips, using your whole being really, as this beautiful sacred sound current. That the sound itself helps to uplift, bring clarity to the mind, connect us to a deeper sense of reality within us. Sustaining the posture. Either your eyes are looking down at the tip of your nose, or the eyes are closed, meditating into the third eye. And begin to vibrate, chanting the mantra. Hara, Hara, Wa-he-guru. 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 It may feel clumsy at first. Within 11 minutes, you'll likely learn how to vibrate the mantra. Chant away. Use the tip of the tongue on the Hara mantra. Hara, Hara, Wa-he. And distinctly move your lips throughout the rest of the mantra. Hara Hara Vaheguru, 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 Hara Hara Vaheguru. As the sound walks up your spine, it balances all the 5 elements. And the passions and energies that arise from them. Keep chanting as if communicating something ineffable. mysteriousness of reality. Keep chanting as if the sound of compassionate love itself. Resistance comes, concentrate on your chanting, the movement of the lips, the striking of the tongue, the sound vibration in the center channel of the body, like nature of the posture, feeling the flow of energy, life force. Focus. Final moments. Inhale. Suspend and be very still. Mind, body, like an empty vessel. And exhale and slowly relax the posture. To prayer pose. And give a wish, give a prayer. Or simply even just feel the expansiveness of your own consciousness in the field of your heart, your sense of caring, your sense of love. genuine wish for all to be free of suffering. A wish for our experience to be free of suffering. A wish to simply let the winds of Dharma blow each of us in whatever direction is best for us. Satnam, great work. One thing that we can't do all together in a certain way, we can do it all together, but one thing we'll have to each do ourselves is to have something sweet. Doesn't have to be unhealthy, but after, you do a deep sadhana like that, even if it's a piece of fruit or something like that, to just balance things. And it's not so much like, oh, I need to balance it, but just to experience the sweetness of life, with all this hard work and discipline and sometimes like that, that remembering that what it's all for is for the sweetness of life, and to have the expression of joy, and put on some uplifting music. What do you got queued up? Cayman. What video we got? Which one is it? CCV. That was perfect. So, and I'm gonna go on Zoom. And if you're not already on the Zoom room, do you want to join us if you're here live and hang out for 10 minutes? And sometimes it goes up to like 30, 45, just because it's enjoyable. So if you can, join us in there. And then also, I just realized that the two musics I played today, I just pulled a total Aki right there. I said the two musics. Don't blame your bad grammar on Aki. The two songs, the two musical pieces I played today were recorded live. They came out of classes during last year's Dharma Warrior Immersion. And it's one thing to have these and be able to use them, which is incredible, and I'm so grateful. It's another thing to be there as they're being, in the moment they're being created, because these are never pre-rehearsed really for the most part. They're just things that arise out of the natural flow of, of the sadhana that is that immersion. So anyways, it's a good reminder for me to encourage everyone to consider coming August 27 through whatever that Sunday is. What is it? The 30th. To the Dharma Warrior Immersion from anywhere in the world, virtual Dharma Warrior Immersion 2020, and where the format we'll start out that Thursday evening, and then on that'll be a big opening, live music. It'll be a great session like this, but immersion style, and then on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings, starting around 8 a.m., we'll release all the details. We haven't even opened up registration yet, but soon come. We, on around 8:30 a.m., I'll start. It'll be the morning session, this specific times, and that'll go to 11:30. There'll be a couple-hour lunch break, and then I'll be joined by Tenzin Bob Thurman, which is an incredible blessing for me, and so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 3 days, Tenzin will be teaching along with me, and that's the afternoon session. Then we'll take an hour break, and then Simrit will be here, Salif will be here, and the evening session is live music. And all of it will be, of course, recorded and on demand as well, and all that. I just want to let everyone know, because I think finally today we hit the point where our team is starting to really get excited about it, and because our energy's we're able now, it's our main focus for the next month, essentially. All right, lots of love. See you on the Zoom room. Thanks, everybody. Satnam. that you're wired somehow. You have a certain way of existing that is absolutely natural and skillful for you. You're talented in that way. It's how your heart expresses itself. It's how you get inside of love, and how love expresses itself uniquely through you.
If you have a mind, you have a mission.
If you have a mind,
You have a mission.
If you have a mind,
You have a mission.